Our record. All right, everybody, we're gonna try another Premier Strixhaven draft. Went 4-3 last time. Not so happy, but you know it could have been a lot worse. Um, Ended up in Witherbloom, which I don't think is the greatest college to be in, but at the same time, the rare way open to start the draft was really powerful, so we went with it. Um, it is what it is there. I think I ended up valuing two drops a little too much, and that kind of made it where my deck just didn't have enough going with it. So, with that in mind, we'll try another one. From what I've been reading and hearing from people, two drops are pretty unimportant, honestly. I've been seeing people running decks that are, like 6-7 1s that are 3 and 4 two drops. So maybe if things line up right, we'll try something like that where we'll try to be less aggressive and more grindy. Oh, Rushed Rebirth. That's not a great limited card. Wormhole Serpent. Oh man, are we just taking a no? Mortality Spear is really good. We can switch this so you guys can see the cards better this time too. We've got Mortality Spear. If that wasn't in the pack, there's a Lash of Malice and a Spirit Something. Just got done saying that I'm not sure Witherbloom is the place I want to be, and the best card in the pack by far is a Mortality Spear. I mean, the other options we could try taking like a Spectacle Mage and forcing our way that direction. I think I'm going to take the Mortality Spear, but we're going to not just train wreck right towards that, although being past a Dinah here is nice. There's also a Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Yeah, we got one 4-drop removal spell already. Is there anything here that pushes me towards other colors? I don't think so. Containment Breach is fine. I don't think it's as great as some of the other uncommon lessons. I'm going to take the Dinah and try to just stay open still. I know it doesn't really look like I'm staying open grabbing that. Explosive Welcome is a good card, but red does not pair with black or green. Same for Shock then. Yeah, I mean, like, Spirit Summoning's not worth really running off the rails for. It may just be Silverquill Pledge Mage or Scurrid Colony. I don't think... Mage Hunter's Onslaught is a really great card. I honestly considered going there if I already had the Mortality Spear. But I 100% agree that maybe the pick was Mage Hunter's Onslaught over Dinah. I'm going to take the Silverquill here. I'm not sure it's right, but it's a card. Now here, I'm not the biggest fan of going 3 colors, but I think Professor Symbology is the best card here. There's also a Pilgrim of the Ages. Crushing Disappointment's not terrible. I'm going to go Professor here, get our learn on, and maybe like Dinah doesn't make it and we're just splashing Mortality Sphere. Okay, so Reduced to Memory. I'm still not sure on this card. I like it. I think it's great. I'd probably rather have it than the Introduction to Annihilation. There's also a Pilgrim of the Ages, which is fine. A Lash of Malice, which is pretty good. And then a couple other cards here. It looks like moving towards Silverquill is the right call. Kind of wish we would have taken the Mage Hunter's Onslaught over the Dinah at this point. I'm not sure if Reduce or Lash is better. I'm going to take the uncommon card I haven't gotten to play with much. See, oh yeah, okay. Definitely looks like we're moving into Silverquill. I'm leaning towards Shadewing Laureate here. Yeah, I think that was a late Professor of Symbology there too. That I felt really good about that one. And then seeing the Shadewing Laureate here, I think we're just going to go with that, and we'll just move in on Silverquill. I like Thunderous Orator as well, but I'm digging that card. I think here it's probably Hunt for Specimens. Um, the other thing is that it's another learn card, so that would get us to 2 already. I'm thinking picking up the learn before the lessons here is the right call. I think it's really tough. So the last draft we only had like 2 or 3 of each, and that just wasn't enough. So like the first copy of Introduction to Prophecy is pretty valuable, but I think another learn with Hunt for Specimens there, yeah. So now we're looking at an Expel or a Witherbloom campus. The reason I would want Witherbloom campus, I'm going to take Dinah out of here, honestly, at this point, is um, the only reason I want Witherbloom campus is to play a removal spell. So I'm actually leaning towards just taking Expel, getting a removal spell, and then hoping to get one of these when there's not this good of a removal spell. I've been happy with Expel. I'm going to take it. We may wish we went a different direction with that. Now I'm actually going to go Spirit Summoning because we are in white, and I think the lessons are just that valuable. Um, Letter of Acceptance is fine. I think we'll get another chance at a Letter of Acceptance, and I'm really high on making sure I get my wish board built. Here, it's probably just Spiteful Squad. It's a pseudo removal. I'm not big on Unwilling Ingredient. I was saying before we got started here, I don't think 2 drops and 1 drops are necessary. They might be good, and if you end up with a pretty aggressive deck, we're just going to go Eager First Year here. They can be fine. Some of the 6 and 7 win decks I've been seeing, they weren't Silverquill though, they're in blue. You're not running very many 2s. I think in Silverquill we're going to want to grab some of these. Oh man, we're open here. Okay, so we got to make a decision. Are we aggressive? Because Pilgrim is not aggressive, but it helps you go get your mana. I'm going to go with the Pilgrim. I think we have a better chance to get more 2s. We'll take a second Spiteful Squad. We may play Star People. And we get last pick Eager First Year. Alright. That feels pretty good. This pack... Ugh. So this is whenever a permanent entering the battlefield causes an ability to trigger, counter it unless somebody pays. It's not really a limited card. Defiant Strike is fine. If we had more Magecraft, I'd probably go that way. I am looking at either Spectre of the Fens or Lorehold Pledge Mage here. Probably Spectre, but if we're leaning more aggressively, what do we got? We've got 3.5-ish 2 drops. Yeah, Lorehold Pledge Mage is pretty good too. I'm not sure. This is actually a pretty hard pick in my opinion. And maybe like Strict Proctor's fine, but I just don't think it's worth first picking here. I'm kind of leaning towards the Pledge Mage as I talk myself into it. Looks like we took it. All right. Sign in Blood is not a bad card to see here. There's also a Pest Summoning and an Owlin Shield Mage. Sign in Blood being a rare and just a really good card draw spell in general. I think when in doubt, I'm going to take a rare and get a chance to play with it, see how it feels. This is a pretty solid card. Hoping either Pest Summoning or Owlin Shield Mage comes around. Now, Master Symmetrist is a really good card. Not really wanting to be Abzan if we don't have to be. We don't have an introduction to Annihilation yet, so there is some reasoning to go that direction. I don't think Access Tunnel is what this deck wants. I don't think I have enough +1/+1 synergies for Dusk Mage yet. A third Spiteful Squad. Yeah, I'm just going to take the lesson and kind of leave myself in a position where I can pick up a Combat Professor this late. Yeah. Combat Professor is awesome. You get to give anything +1/+0 and it gains Vigilance. So it becomes a mini Baneslayer Angel on its own. Or Sarah Angel, not Baneslayer. Baneslayer would be insane as a common. It's a 3/3 Vigilant for 4, or it can make something else get +1/+0 in Vigilance. We'd be really happy to get the Arrogant Poet, the Hunt for Specimens, or even the Cram Session back, but we're going to take that and be super happy with the pick. Duress is just fine. Novice Dissector doesn't seem like the card here. I'm probably between a second Silverquill Pledge Mage and an Expanded Anatomy. With this draft, I'm trying to push my way into having a much better sideboard. We've got 3 lessons. I'm going to go with the Expanded Anatomy and just try to see if we can make that work. Here's an Inkling Summoning. I don't hate Stonerise Spirit, but I'm just going to stick with this basic idea that try and build up this wish board. So with that in mind, I'm going to snag Guiding Voice here, get another card that says Learn on it now that we have 5 lessons in our sideboard that we're really happy to be able to go get. Whew. Do we need a second Guiding Voice? I think the second one is less great. I might actually take the Witherbloom Campus here and still consider splashing Mortality Spear. I think that's what I'm going to do because Mortality Spear is really, really good. I'll take a Defiant Strike this late. I think that seems better than Exhilarating Elocution. Another 4 doesn't feel very good. Yeah, we'll take a Defiant Strike and be moderately happy with it. We wield Owlin's Shield Mage. That was one of the ones we were looking at hoping for. I think that's better than a Campus here. The Ward making them pay 3 life has been pretty good. Hey, Cryptic27, Matt, what's up? Do we want a crappy 3-drop or our first Defend the Campus? I'm going to take just another removal spell. I feel like... Yeah, so here's another spot. I don't think we're going to gain enough life for Brackish Trudge. I think if you're... trying to go life gain with Witherbloom. I like Brackish Trudge better. But, here we're going to snag this Silverquill Pledge Mage. Trying to send messages while I should be paying attention to the end of this draft. We're going to take a Stonerise Spirit there. Sorry if I take some of those picks too fast. The end of the pack, actually, there was great. We were still just seeing white and black cards. I think we found our lane. I don't know if what we have is good or not, but I think we found our lane. Don't think Secret Rendezvous is a card I'm going to draft. Giving my opponent 3 cards? No, I'm not about that. I think Village Rites has a pretty good chance of being the pick here. We've already got 2 eager first years. Study Break is also a card that I'm pretty interested in with how big our wish board is. Probably here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the Village Rites because it's the uncommon and it's the Mystical Archive card that you're not going to get as many opportunities to play with. It's also a freaking blowout on removal when you get to leave 1 black mana up and then do that. So I'm going to go there. 100% happy to wheel Study Break or Introduction. Would take some of the other cards there. So let's see. Callous Blood Mage. When it enters the battlefield, you make a dude, you draw a card and lose life, or you exile a player's graveyard. That's probably fine here. Honestly, Thunderous Orator is pretty good with the amount. We've got 2 of the Silverquill Pledge Mages where we can give it flying. I'm actually leaning towards this over Callous Blood Mage. I don't know if anybody has an opinion on that or not, but A 2/2 for 2 that can be a Vigilant Flyer seems pretty good. Umbral Juke's not terrible either. This is a tough one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Thunderous Orator. This may be the pick I look back and realize was wrong, but I don't hate it right now. So Sciences is great, especially if we want to splash Mortality Spear. We don't need another lesson necessarily, but I never turn them down. The other options are Pillar Drop Rescuer, and not a lot else. We might be able to wield this. This isn't coming around, so I'm going to grab it and just kind of see where we're at. I'm actually tempted to just take a Guiding Voice here because of the fact that we have so many... How's our creature count, too? We're at 16. Yeah, I think putting a +1/+1 counter on some of our aggressive stuff and getting a card out of the board sounds great. Woo, we can grab a Necrotic Fumes here. With a Study Break and a Cram Session in the pack, hope to wheel one of them. I'm going to grab Fumes. I think that's a really solid card to have on the board. Wow, we are still just kind of hitting it with the open lane. I'm not sure. So we got 2 Guiding Voice. Those add +1/+1 counters. So Thunderous Orator is great, but I feel like Dueling Coach gives us a chance to have like a little bit more long game. Man, Divine Gambit, it's a meme card, I get it. It's not that good. It can be playable in this format. I wouldn't take it here, but if it comes around, I won't be that upset. We'll take the Dueling Coach, though. I think that's where I wanted to be. Here we have not a lot. I don't think I want to play Brackish Trudge in this deck. Not the biggest fan of Stonerise Spirit, but at the same time, this can make some stuff fly over in the late game, and it's another... I mean, if we Guiding Voice on one of these to have a 2/3 flyer, I'm pretty happy. I'm going to go that route. I might be wrong, but that's where I'm going to go with it. This is tough for me. I like Plumb the Forbidden, and I like Owl and Shield Mage here. If we were... The other, actually, Eye Twitch is another card that learns. Right now we have 1, 2, 3... I might actually go with Eye Twitch here just to make sure we've got enough learn. Our wish board is amazing. With that in mind, I'm going to go Study Break too. I have just a ton of cards I'm happy to go get. This is a pretty easy Pilgrim to me. Especially since there's nothing else in the pack for us. Not really a statement that needs much explanation. I'm going to go with the Pillar Drop over a 3rd Stonerise Spirit. We don't have this effect. I think it's a solid effect to have. Yeah, we'll take another Pilgrim. I'm fine with that. I'm going to take this away from somebody, but we're not going to play it. Wow, second to last pick, Thunderous Orator. That feels fantastic. I guess we're aggressive here. So we'll have to see what we need to cut. But that wheel felt real good. So let's take a look at what we got for a curve. We got 50 cards in the deck right now. I'm leaning that we cut Mortality Spear. I think we got enough removal otherwise, and it just doesn't feel like the splash is that easy. I do have an Environmental Sciences. Yeah, I can't believe that the Thunderous Orator wheeled around like that. That was awesome. That makes this deck significantly better, and I was already pretty happy. I think Defend the Campus is on my potential cut list. Don't be afraid to chime in if there's any. I think Star People goes. Not thinking that's... I don't plan to be that aggressive, but I like Defiant Strike. It's a cantrip. I like Guiding Voice a lot. It learns. I like Eye Twitch learning, and I like Village Rites. I think Eager First Year is fine. This one I'm not 100% sure on. Maybe that's where we end up, because we're definitely pretty stacked on creatures in the 2-drop slot, where, I mean, even Hunt for Specimens is basically a creature. Oh, I'm not sure. Between Stonerise and Eager First Year, at least one of those is probably gone. I'm not sure we need 3 Pilgrims either. I'm going to say 2 for now and just look at what we're working with here. I think Defend the Campus is one of the ones that's out, but I want to make sure that I have enough other removal spells. I really don't. So then the question is, are we just going to try to aggro our way through, or do we not have removal? That sucks. That really makes that Mage Hunter's Onslaught we passed for a Dinah really suck here, because we could have just had a Mage Hunter's Onslaught in this deck and been real happy about it. Coleslaw was right on that one. Should have gone that way. Kind of was leaning that way. Would have stayed more open. Got a little Golgari tunnel vision going on there, and I was wrong because I'm not going to play my first 2 picks now, which is fine. I think the deck ended up better that way, but would have been better with a Mage Hunter's Onslaught. 7 cuts is tough, especially with the fact that I don't necessarily have a way to move stuff out of the way. So then I guess we have to ask if we... Yeah, the 2, that was what I was just going to get to. The 2 removal spells to wish for, and I actually think I have 3. I have an Introduction to Annihilation as well. So we've got 3 Wishboard cards that can get us out of a crappy situation where I think Defend the Campus can leave the deck because of that. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now I'm counting 6 ways to learn. So 6 ways to learn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wishes. That feels pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think that's in the range I want to be in. So I think Pillar Drop Rescuer, Owl and Shield Mage, Combat Professor, Dueling Coach all stay. I like Spiteful Squad. I think yeah, I basically what I was trying for with this one, there was a sweet Channel Fireball article that was saying that basically the more unique learn cards or more unique lessons you have and the more learn cards you have, the higher your win percentage went. So I'm trying to test that out, and I'm oddly here we're testing that out in an aggro deck. I think it really holds true if you're going like Prismari and Quandrix, where you've got to grind. But then on the other side of that, if we're going to go aggro, we still need to be able to grind with Prismari and Quandrix. So my hope here is that we can grind with those by having this many cards that we get to just pull out of the sideboard, and you get to grab whichever one you need the most. I guess we have an Expel too. That's nice to have around. It's probably in the 2-drops that the Stone Rise Spirit's fine. I don't know. I'm gonna shave 1 right now. Maybe that's wrong, but yeah, Stabs. I'm with you on that. That it just seems like the card itself is not great. Like, Cram Session is the example I always go for. Pay 2 mana, gain 4 life. You wouldn't play that in most decks. But when it says pay 2 mana, gain 4 life, go find the best situational card that you need right now, way higher value. So that's the part that I think is the hardest part about this format, and the part that I'm struggling the most with is gauging. One of the examples I had from the last draft was I took a flunk when there was a pest summoning in the pack. Obviously didn't wheel the pest summoning, but flunk feels so good I wasn't comfortable passing it either, and maybe 20 drafts from now I'll feel differently about that. Premium removal is hard to pass, but I think there's times where those crappy quote-unquote learn cards are actually pretty good. And the downside, though, is if you don't get the lessons, then they're just crappy cards. You have to be willing to go after both for it to be worth it. Oh man, this is hard. I'm having a hard time picking what to cut. We're really creature heavy, and yeah, I mean, there's also that side of it, like we could chop off some top end, but I don't think that's the right call. I'm leaning towards maybe one of these coming out, but I'm not sure about that. What do we think? Maybe I just take out the second Stone Rise. While I think the +1/+1 counters from Guiding Voice would be good on it, it's below rate, and I'm thinking if we're going really low to the ground, the actual flying isn't going to matter as much as just being able to go wide with some bodies. Oh, 4 more cuts. That's tough. I'm thinking these are our ways to fly over, which is making me wonder if Lorehold Pledge Mage stays. This is one. It's double white in this deck. I'm gonna cut it for now. Maybe I change my mind. I like Hunt. I like Arrogant, Poet. I love the Thunderous Orators and Professor. Eager First Years are solid aggressive cards. Yeah, I think we have one of those, like, it's an aggro deck where we have a little bit of an embarrassment of riches, but at the same time I'm not sure what you're supposed to cut, and I may turn it into a mediocre deck by cutting the wrong cards. If you didn't come here for mediocre plays and watching why it was wrong, you shouldn't be here. Oh, let's just try to get to some games at this point. I'm going to go 1 down here and just try to chop off some of the curve. I'm actually wondering if, like, Owlin Shield Mage is necessary. It's pretty good. I do like Spiteful Squad as well as just a way to get through damage. Maybe I'm not cutting that. That's the tough part. I don't know what I'm cutting. 43 cards. Expel, I think I want. Maybe I think I'll just go down to 1 Pilgrim. A 2/1 for 3 on its own isn't that great, and then just being able to recycle it is awesome, but I don't think you need more than 1 copy to be able to pull that part off. If we go down the squad, then, like I was thinking, we just have 1 more cut. I think I'm between, like, an Eager First Year and Arrogant Poet. Expel, I think I want to leave in, but it's just fine. I think our Wishboard of removal is going to be more useful, but I'd like having that in the deck. So what are we at here? We're at 9. I think we're at 6 2-drop creatures right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That feels pretty good. I think Pillar Drop Rescuer is pretty good here too because there's so many creatures down here. I like the idea of being able to get that back. I don't know. Combat Professor is just bonkers. I'm not cutting that. The more flyers we have, the better the Shadewing gets. Let's just shave an Eager First Year and play some games. We'll see if I'm right or not on that. We may decide that Eager First Year was just awesome, or we may not. We've got a lot of spells, and we've got a lot of learn to go get more spells, so that pump might be really good, but it might be terrible. I think it's going to be just fine. That's why I'm going to go ahead and just shave a copy there, and, I mean, we can play a game and go back if we don't like what we got. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. This is just a kind of impromptu. My goal right now is to shoot for Tuesday and Thursday evenings around 6 o'clock, and then Sunday afternoons at about 3. Either doing drafts, or we're going to try some... Let's see. Let's go over here and bring this up a little bit so that you can still see some stuff going on. All right, opponent goes first. I have an eye twitch into a 3. I mean, I'm going to keep it even though I'm probably wrong. We top deck a 2-drop, and this hand looks real good. If not, we've got a really good 3 into a really good 4. That's where I'm at here. Guiding Voice. They said good game. Not really sure why we're good gaming here. Let's see. We don't need lands. I think I just like grabbing an Inkling Summoning here. Little A little early on the good games from them, in my opinion, but it could have been an accidental click, too. That or they're just being a dick. Both are possible. Okay, you got 3 mana. That's cool. What are we doing with our 3 mana? We're passing the turn. That I like. 3 mana do nothing sounds good to me. We're just gonna twitch your eyeballs out. Nope, we're gonna thrill the possibilities. Sure. That does not upset me in the slightest. Let's just go with a Shadewing Laureate then. Definitely considering running out. Okay, so we're multiple colors more than likely here. I think I'm running out the dueling coach here. This feels like if we get this going, it's gonna be awesome. We're smacking for 5 here too. That feels pretty good. Pilgrim of the Ages is going to draw us a card. When iTwitch dies, we're going to get to draw a card. Yeah, if they decide to expel the Shadewing Laureate, I think that's a pretty good play on their end. And they're just going to play another land. Alright. Big decision here is, do we go for the extra point of damage? I think so, because I think I'm just going to keep playing to the board. I'm going to go Inkling Summoning for the evasion. Although probably there we're supposed to play Spiteful Squad and be able to play 2 3-drops next turn. We'll find out if that was as big of a punt as it looks like it could have been. Combat Professor is awesome. That card is definitely a problem for us here, but we'll just be able to make our iTwitch big enough to get past it. I think that's our play here. The other option is just to Sign in Blood and see if we can... No, I think I'm good with just making the Twitch big enough to get past it and holding on to some cards here. Make them put more on the board. That part feels pretty good. Especially making a evasive creature bigger, that when they kill it, I get something out of it. I get to learn. That feels really good. We still have a Spirit Summoning we can go get. They've got a Dueling Coach. Alright, that's a little more of a problem. So now they got a 4/4 Vigilant, but they can't... Well, they can swing because it's Vigilant, but... Oh, they can't make it not block. Sure, and then they get to learn. Okay. They're at 4, right? Like... They go get Introduction to Prophecy. It's a 4/4 Vigilant. Yeah, definitely attack here. Oh, it has to block. That's what it is. That's why that was good. Now I get it. Okay, so Professor of Symbology here. Let's see. Professor goes and gets us one of our ways to exile a creature. We get rid of combat, Professor, and then take them down to 1. Yeah, I like that. So we can either give them a 3/2, which it looks like that's the only option we have because we don't have 5 mana here, or we can sack a creature. So I could sack, yeah. Let's go with Necrotic Fumes here. So destroy this, sacrifice Professor of Symbology. Bye-bye. Do I want to trade Dueling Coaches? No. So they have to have an answer for iTwitch. We still have a Sign in Blood in hand. That has reach. That's technically an answer. So we can hunt for specimen. Yep. All right. There's the winning line, I think. We hunt for specimens for reduce to memory. We reduce to memory the pillar drop warden. And we swing in. GG's. Look at me looking like I can do things. Yeah, prof. Exactly. Very, very happy with Prof. I'll help you out there, Cryptic, since I know you can't hear me. I'll get in there with some comments, too. Yeah. Professor of Symbology, just awesome card, in my opinion. I'm really, really happy with that. That felt pretty good. The thing I'm wondering is, it feels really aggressive. I'm actually going to try pulling this and grabbing an Eager First Year. I really like the Owlin as a 5/5 or a 5-mana 3/3 flyer, but I think we're too low to the ground. I'm going to try another 2-drop and see what happens. I guess if we draw an Eager First Year late game, you can all pretend that that's the one that I just put in for an Owlin Shield Mage and I'll feel dumb. But again, feeling dumb is what I'm here for. Yeah. Yeah. Thunderous Order, Professor of Symbology, Double Learn, they mulliganed. I'm in. This is so this is what? A 9-card hand? Yeah, exactly. On curve, Professor of Symbology is amazing, but like in that situation, it was just a 5-mana removal spell instead of a 3-mana removal spell. So interesting. We're Faithless Looting on a mold of 5. Card advantage feels like it's on my side in this game. Green card and a blue card, and we draw the Eye Twitch. Oh man, embarrassment of riches here. This feels like it's a pretty good aggressive Silverquill deck. I'm very happy. I think we're going to Symbology grabbing the Inkling summoning. I'm going to attack for 1 first because that just feels like the right value. Yep, they didn't have a reject. Didn't expect them to, but we'll grab the Inkling summoning. Not sure if we're going Inkling summoning next turn or if we're going Guiding Voice plus Thunderous Order. Field Trip's a good card. So this is where we've got to get pretty aggro. I think I'm going to Inkling Summoning. How many Learn cards do we have? We have a lot. I'm blanking. I want to say I have an Eye Twitch, a Professor, 2 Guiding Voice, a Study Break, Hunt for Specimens. That sounds like about what we have. So pretty good numbers. We're just gonna jam the 2-1 here, I think. I'm gonna hold back my next Learn card until we have a lot. Basically, I want to know they're gonna play a 4/4 here. So now that I know what I'm up against more, really, we can just keep flying over here, too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Guiding Voice here. Actually, I think I'm just going to grab Expanded Anatomy. Make the Eye Twitch bigger. And we're just going to jam for 6 in the air. And make their 4/4 not matter as much. Campus is fine here, but I'm pretty happy just jamming what we're jamming. We've got... Okay, that was real good. That felt pretty good for them. So they got to kind of blow me out there. Let's see. So we've got 5 mana. I don't think I have a creature. We don't have a dead creature yet. So let's just go... I'm going to go like this. Just cycle it, get in for an extra point of damage. And then I think we're going to go Thunderous Order plus Eager First Year. We're probably gonna wish. Well, what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna chump block with Professor of Symbology, and then we're gonna pillar drop Rescuer it back, and it's gonna be great. So that's our plan here. Literal chump block, because if they just play one creature here, they're pretty close to dead. They've got a Time Warp. Okay, well that's busted. Was not playing around Time Warp. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, the fact that they have 3 creatures on board now feels pretty good for them. Alrighty. So I'm gonna pillar drop back my Professor. Sit back. They stabilize the board really well here. This is kind of the worry when you're dealing with these Prismarian Quandrix decks. I think all we have to do here is Symbology for our removal spell for Master Symmetrist, and then they're pretty dead. So I'm gonna just take 4 here. I don't see any reason at all to do anything else. That card's pretty good too, so we're gonna go white-black, Professor of Symbology. So this is where the power of the Wishboard really comes into play. We're gonna grab Reduce to Memory, and we're gonna Reduce to Memory Master Symmetrist. Which actually makes it where we can attack with Eager First Year here as well, and they don't have that great of blocks. I guess they get a 3/2, so that's not really true. Actually, they're dead. They're just dead with the Thunderous Order. I actually missed it on board. My opponent saw it. So there we go. They conceded for me, so I couldn't punt. But feels good. The Wishboard comes up huge there. Being able to chump block with a 2/1 to rebuy it with another flyer and then murder something because of it. Learn is an awesome mechanic when it works the way you want it to. That felt fantastic. I'm loving it. I think going down on the curve too feels pretty good, although I wouldn't mind having that owl back either. You know what? Let's not get too hasty starting a new match here. I can drink something too. Kind of want my owl back. The way that game was starting to go long made me feel like I would have really liked to have had this card in the deck. Yeah, we'll flippity flop that back out and see what happens. Yeah, Learn's awesome. A good Silverquill deck like I think we have here seems to be fine. Would have really loved that Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Gonna kick myself when I rewatch this one for not realizing. Yeah, so the Owl, I'm still like 50-50 on it. This hand is bonkers good. We're gonna keep this easy. Being able to go Thunderous Order into Silverquill into Guiding Voice this is just gonna be great. The reason I thought I'd add the Owl back in is it is that late game just fly over and finish it. It also makes Thunderous Order better, and we have 2 of those. That's my reasoning, but I really could be wrong. So the nice part is now if I draw the Owl, we'll know that it was supposed to be a 2/2. And if I wish I had the 2/2 instead, we'll know. We got the Orator. I really like Thunderous Orator a lot. Double Swamp for our opponent. We'll just get in there. Then we're going to play Silverquill Pledge Mage. Probably make a 4/2 flyer and a 2/2 versus... well, we'll see what they do. Maybe they murder it and none of this... Yeah, I think in a bubble for sure I agree that I'm not 100% sold on that card, but in this deck I think I'm happy going down to 5 2-drops and up to a pretty sweet. I'm going to give it flying. So it's a floaty boy. I think... I almost want Environmental Sciences here to be able to sign in blood, but I think... Inkling summoning and just getting our giant group of flyers on here feels pretty good too. So now we got 2 flyers headed in there. Thanks, Cryptic. I appreciate you being there. Umbral Juke. Oh man, they juked me. That's a good play. Using that to kill my Silverquill Pledge Mage seems pretty solid. I'm going to play the Inkling Summoning here. Yeah, so there's the reason to have put the +1/+1 counter on the Thunderous Orator. I didn't play around that card. We'll see how badly that hurts. I think we're just supposed to jam Shadewing Laureate? Yeah, it feels fine here. We just get in for 4 in the air again. The other option, maybe now we're supposed to go get away to kill Moldering Karak, but I don't know. I'm just going to take it here. We're swinging back for 6 in the air, so 3 on the ground. It's only a 3-point swing in my favor right now, but okay, that card's really good. So Sedgemoor Witch, whenever they cast, they make a pest. So, okay. We got to think about it a little bit here. Are we more worried about the life? I think we're more worried about the life gain off of the Moldering Karak. We're playing a land either way. So we can sign in blood, trying to find other ways to kill the Karak. I think the other option, so I think we're going to hunt for specimens. We're going to take a look at our learn board. There's a chance that just like pumping one of our big fatties is the right play. There's a chance that reduce to memory is the right play. There's a chance that spirit summoning, being able to just block the Karak, is the right play. So what do we got? We've got 3 flyers. I can make it where I'm swinging for 8 in the air. I'm going to go that route. I'm going to try it here where I'm going to just make this little dude, and this might be the wrong choice. Maybe I'm supposed to pump the Thunderous Orator to be able to block more appropriately. Probably. But we're going to swing for 8 in the air and try and race. They're going to go down to 7 here, back up to 10. And then we've got the option to sign in blood next turn. Yeah, that's a 4. Okay, that's a good play. I like that play from them. Making a 4/4 lifelinker now is really good. Currently, though, we're swinging back for 8 in the air. The Moldering Karak has to swing. Now they've got 2 of them, so that is terrifying. Okay. Sedgemoor Witch I doubt comes in here. The question is, do we trade our 4-power flyer for this? I don't think so. I guess actually I get to put a... You know what? I'm going to bite... I get to put a +1/+1 counter on the Thunderous Orator. And then I'm going to sign in blood here, trying to find... Well, another Thunderous Orator is not the worst thing in the world. We get to swing for 5 here. Take him to 6. We're swinging for 7 next turn, currently. Karak having trample is not as big of a deal as it having lifelink here. This might be a game we lose. I think I played this a little loose. I'll enjoy looking back on this one and realizing where I screwed up. Probably not going and getting a removal spell. The Mage Hunter's Onslaught here is huge for them. Now we're just... closer to dead on board. Losing our only flyer that really mattered. So that hurts. Do we take the Moldering Karok hit here? I'm going to. I don't think it's right. I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to cycle this Defiant Strike. That card gets, you know, better because now do these gain Death Touch now if I want to swing, but I don't think we want to trade them off here. This isn't the spot I want to be in, so right now I feel like I should be attacking, but I can't. Yeah, that card is also a huge problem. So, yikes. We gotta find a flyer. So, Eager First Year is not a flyer, and we put the owl back in. I don't think I want to give this up. So, I mean, we can attack with 2 Death Touchers. What's that get us? We attack with 1 Death Toucher, then they have to give up Moldering Karok, Sedgemoor Witch, or Daemogoth Woe Eater. I don't think that's right. I think we're just waiting. They just gave that up for a card and a little bit of life, so probably fine with how we decided to do that. I don't know, I'm not happy right now with how I've played this one. A Pillar Drop Rescuer here is probably what we're looking for, although it doesn't buy back a creature. Yeah, that is a problem. Getting a Blood Researcher on the board now makes it where I screwed up. I'm not sure where exactly here. Hello, Mr. Combat Professor. And so this is until turn if you control. Yeah, so got to make sure that I'm not screwing this up. But those have Flying and Death Touch now. So if the Combat Professor lives here, we are golden. If it does not, we're in trouble. But as long as our Combat Professor lives, we're in really good shape. I think with the Moldering Karok attack here... I'm not sure if we're supposed to block this or not. Part of me wants to block it with the Spiteful Squad and pump something. So they're trying to make it where our attack is 4/8. That... yeah... I'm going to block it with these 2. I'd like to get it off the board, and I don't feel that bad about this if it doesn't come off the board. But that feels good. So I go to 12. They make a 3/3. If they have a removal spell here, the board's kind of jammed again. They have a Bookworm that gains them 3 life. Okay. So, shoot. That was really good. We're going to give this one... Actually, we should have given Combat Professor Vigilance, because then everybody would get to stay home. Alright, we are on Survive now. So, as long as we don't take 12, we win. I think. This is a close game. I probably screwed up pretty badly there with my... Yeah, so I think they're right. So 2 with Menace. Can we soak up enough of this? This is actually a really hard... I don't know if I can block this and live. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9... is... yeah. I wonder if we can... So if we put these 2 in front of this, we take 2, 6, 7, 8, 11. That's what I'm going to try. If they've got anything here, I think we're dead. My math says I live. Yeah. Alright. You gain vigilance. All right, we got there. I think I played that game very poorly, but the beauty of it is that it ended up not mattering. Combat, what is that guy? Whatever the heck that guy's name is, he's fantastic. Combat Professor. Yeah, with a tap spell as backup. Yeah, still had all this because that is a tap spell that also goes and gets me a card out of my sideboard. Love that card in this deck. Would I have been happy to draw Outland Shield Mage there? I think I would have, so we're gonna stick with it. Not sure it's right, but that felt pretty good. Starting it off 3-0. Deck is better than our Witherbloom deck, I would say. No rares either. But I think this is a deck that really shows the power of Learn. I go first. I'm going to keep it because of how awesome Combat Professor is, but I think this is wrong. We've got a lot of 1 and 2 drops that we can draw here as well. We did not, but that's okay. That sucks. Well, I guess we hope they attack with it and we get to expel it. Probably not happening. They're Bant? Okay, they attacked with it, so... Actually, here I think I'm just going Combat Professor. And no, I'm not trading that for a 1-1. Alrighty, we'll just have to see. Yeah, so now they're like, never mind, not gonna swing with the Needlethorn Drake now. I'm gonna Defiant Strike this, give it flying. And then we'll just make this a 5-1 Vigilant attacker and make them decide if they're willing to get rid of their Needlethorn Drake. They are. I'm fine with that just because that thing had to leave the board. Pop Quiz. Yeah, Pop Quiz is pretty good here. We'll see how good their Learn board is based off of what they grab here, more than likely. Fractal Summoning. Good card. Does not kill Combat Professor. Sparring Regimen. So they get to just keep adding counters to stuff. It's a 3/3 that they untap. I think I just have to take it off the board here, unfortunately. If they have a pump spell, they have a pump spell. Oh, man. Nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're probably right with the GGs here. We can play a Professor and a Sign-in Blood. I'm gonna play it out. We'll go get Necrotic Fumes. We'll Sign-in Blood targeting us. Draw a couple cards. And we'll get in the air for 3. I mean, it's a 5/5 now. I'm going to just chump. Probably not the right call there. I'm actually supposed to leave it alive to Necrotic Fumes. Yeah. I'm really playing bad here because I just don't think we're winning this game either. Not the right attitude, but Expel doesn't do much here. I guess we can get one of them when they attack. So let's play Thunderous Orator. Hit for 3 in the air. And then we'll just plan to expel something here. It might give us a little bit of time. Quandrix Pledge Mage is really good. Which one are they targeting? That one. I'm going to expel this because if we can bounce this thing at some point, we're better off. Hopefully we expel this. Yeah, alright, so that helped. They're still... I'm going to just take the 5 here. We're swinging back for 5 in the air. let's just go to combat. This is tough. We might be able to race our way out of this, but I'm not sure. So that's... What's better here is blocking better. We can play a dueling coach and kill it to, you know, I think I'm going to do that. I should have played it pre-combat if I really wanted the +1/+1 counter. But I'm going to go ahead and Necrotic Fumes the 5/5 and just put myself in a position where their sparring regimen isn't doing as much right now. Another pop quiz, making Quandrix bigger. They just had to discard and draw. No, they went and got Introduction to Annihilation. Yeah. Introduction to Annihilation here probably gets me. Frankly, Sparring Regimen gets us here. That card should... Yeah, they have another Quandrix Pledge Mage. Yeah. That's one of... This is one of the most terrifying Quandrix decks I've ever seen. So... For fun here... Fun. We can hunt for specimens. Or we can attack for 3 vigilant... You know, actually... Attack with this in the air. Play Hunt for Specimens, make a blocker, as well as now give me the ability to kill one of the big things. If they can't move this out of the way, I think we live. We might have found a way to live through this. So that's going to make a huge dude. And so they're attacking for a bunch, but they're only going to hit for 6. And I get to swing back for lethal. This is why you don't concede too early. GG, bitch! Telling me GG's early. We found it. I'm going to be honest, that felt pretty good. I don't usually play that well. That was great. That was absolutely fantastic. Finding the line. Should have killed that 1/1 for the lulz. You're right. We could have done that, but just absolutely obliterating them there in a situation where I felt like we were dead to rights. Flying and having a 2/2 vigilance that gets to steal flying from your other creatures. You know, flying is a really old keyword, but it's still one of the best ones. Doesn't really get any older than flying. Oh, so... Put a plains in my hand, and this is fantastic. Does that make it keepable? Probably not, but I really hate throwing it back. Yeah. I think the risk reward here is... Yeah, okay, see, never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. That's why you listen to Darth Koo. He had it right there. Plains is on the top of the deck. You're right that we had a turn 1 and a turn 3, but, you know, the Plains was on the top of the deck the entire time. That made it even easier to keep it. Get in there, iTwitch. Yeah. Twitchy little bugger. Alright, so we're against someone running the same thing as us. Ooh, this is fun. I think here we're just going to run out another Thunderous Orator. And then we get to live up Village Rites as a huge blowout to any removal spell. Please do it. 4 mana. Now, Spectre of the Fens. That's a good card here. That does... Oof. Okay, so do we consider the Village Rites to learn and find a way to kill Spectre? I don't think I'm going to yet. But I may have wanted to. We'll just slap this down and pass the turn. Yeah, we can use the rights as a blocking trick as well. Here we're just going to use it to blank their removal spell. We'll give this flying now too. That feels pretty good. Yep, they don't want to swing into that. So now we have our buddy, the Professor of being sacrificed to necrotic fumes. Grab our necrotic fumes, kill this, sack this. Give this flying. Aerial assault. Alright, that's how we like to play with this deck. That looked great. So basically, Professor of Symbology has been a 5-mana removal spell in this deck, which is pretty sweet. Owl and Shield Mage. That's good. That's a blocker. Now we're going to use Hunt for Specimens, or actually we'll use Guiding Voice, making the Orator bigger. You fly now. And we're just going to get reduced to memory, which we can't cast because we tapped incorrectly. Okay, that wasn't so great. Let's go ahead and swing for 6 anyway. They want to trade there, that's fine. It saves 3 life technically for me. Yeah, I forgot that I didn't have... Yeah, we'll play this. Let's give it lifelink, I guess. So we could have done that earlier. I'm playing a little fast and loose again. I'm just going to grab an Inkling Summoning. We're going to continue to throw things in the air. It's got double flying. I love it when things have double float. Yeah, so with a reduced to memory in hand, we have 6 in the air. And 1 on the ground. Thunderous Order of their own. It's a good card. Mage Hunter's Onslaught, also a good card. Not really doing it here. Alright, so now the question is, we don't need to reduce to memory anything. Is there any reason to do anything before attackers? I don't think so. And then now we just get to cast this and this. With reduced to memory now being, at worst, a way to make Silverquill Pledge Mage float. If they have to destroy all non-land permanents, yeah, they don't have anything. Alright. Silverquill aggro. You know. Those of you that know me know that aggro deck's not necessarily my thing, but this one kind of pilots itself. It's been able to win despite my piloting, so that feels good. 5 wins before a loss always feels good. We got our gems back. So everything now is just bonus. We'd love to get to that 7th win, but I'm not going to get greedy. If I end up running 3 off in a row here, which probably what I'm going to do now that I said it, you know, we got our gems back. We get to draft again tomorrow. That feels good. All right, we have... Yeah. It's not the hand that I would necessarily want to start with. I would have liked to have had a 2-drop in here somewhere, but if they start playing to the board, which it appears they may, we're able to just study break here to go get something. So, Letter of Acceptance. Since they can't attack this turn, I'm not going to waste it. I'm just going to go Silverquill, pass. They are mono blue thus far. Mono blue walls? That's an interesting... It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. I'm just going to use the Defiant Strike here as a... Cycle it. Give it flying. Draw a card. Probably should have played a 4-drop more so here. Yeah, what we'll probably do here, though, is use the Study Break as a way to make sure we don't get hit really hard when they play a spell here. And then next turn, we'll start doing even more Heated Debate. Yep. My Silverquill Pledge Mage lost that debate. We're going to tap these 2 down and draw a card, though. Yep. So, what is the best card to get here? I don't think it's Necrotic Fumes. I don't think it's really reduced to memory. Is it Expanded Anatomy? No, I think it's just Inkling. We're gonna grab Inkling Summoning. Call it good. We'll go land. I think I want to go Combat Professor plus Guiding Voice here. And with this one, I want to grab maybe just a Spirit Summoning. Yeah, I'm just going to grab Spirit Summoning. Another creature. 4/4 Vigilant Combat Professor feels pretty good. So we'll see. They've got a Storm Kiln Arsonist. That is technically a card. With 6 mana, I think what we're supposed to do here is on this turn, we just poop out an Inkling Summoning and a Spirit Summoning. And then we're going to add Dueling Coach to the board next turn. Sure. We'll see how aggressive they get. Yeah, they can't really get aggressive with us, and that's why we feel pretty good here. So we're going to put this on this guy. We're going to make you Vigilant, and we're going to swing for 7 in the air. Feeling pretty good here, but I'm going to try not to get ahead of myself. Dueling Coach plus Combat Professor is lethal. It's also a legal play, but lethal. Lethal here is the part that matters. They've got 2 cards technically here, I guess, right? Because they could draw... Okay, so Lorehold Command, pretty good card. Yeah. That killed my Dueling Coach. They went to 8. I can swing for 7 in the air. We could actually lose this race, although 3, 6, 11, that's 19. Show me the pump spell, but I think our best chance to win here is to keep our blocker. If they don't have a burn spell here, we win. Good game. So Lightning Helix was going to put them up to 11 regardless of whether I blocked there or not, which meant that they were just going to Lightning Helix one of my creatures that was attacking. We weren't winning that game. If they had 2 lands in hand, we win. I think that's worth a risk. Didn't work out. Oh well. Happens. So there's our first loss of 3 in a row after I was so happy to get our gems back. I called it. I called the losses to start happening. So we did get up into gold tier, which is, you know, still really pathetic, but going to start seeing some better players. I mean, I have a 2-drop and a Defiant Strike. I'm going to play this. I have 2 3s. One of them goes and gets me a Plains. That means I'm... At that point, if I've already played Pilgrim of the Ages, I'm 1 land off of an Allen Shield Mage. Feels good. Do they have the Eye Twitch? No, they have Valentine, Dean of the Vein. That card has been great for me. I prefer the backside of it, but this is real good too. You murder my shit, you get to make pests. Feels good. Man... I'm going to attack first because I don't think I'm Defiant Striking. I think we're hunting for specimens, which we should have done pre-combat. If we lose with them at 1 life, it's because I'm a moron. Okay, we're playing all the colors, or just Sultai. We're Sultai. So probably base green... Makes sense. We didn't hit our land, so we get to Environmental Sciences. Here I'm actually going to go get a Plains. I'm going to play that Plains, and I'm going to Defiant Strike my pest. Because we get to get in there. We're going to have to crunch hard here because they're ramping, and if they start putting big boys into play, we're dead. That's just how it works. Multiple choice. Yeah. That's a bonkers card. They have a 4/4. I have a 2/2. Yeah, this is what we were hoping wouldn't happen. Man. They're at 15, though, so... Am I supposed to play Dueling Coach here because it's the most mana efficient? I think so. I'm not ecstatic about it. We're not blocking this next turn. Okay, so they get to learn off a pop quiz, which is just always good. They went and got the pests, so they're just trying to gum up the board, which actually makes where this Owl and Shield Mage maybe is going to be able to matter. I feel decent about its prospects. Mage Duel. Really good card. Now they get to attack with both. Yeah, 4 mana putting a +1/+1 counter on my 2/2 doesn't feel bueno here. Nah, I would prefer not to chump block a 5/4. Crazy, I know. Hither Bloom, yeah, okay. So their crazy freaking 8-color deck here is probably going to beat us. Let's go ahead and get in. And then I'm between playing Spiteful Squad and Owl and Shield Mage. I'm going to play the mana efficient play. We're potentially racing here. I don't think we are. I think we're losing this race pretty badly. But if we can get enough floaty boys out there, we have a chance to race. Master Symmetrist is a really good card. Now all their creatures have trample. I'm going to block the Withered Bloom Apprentice here if they have the Give It Death Touch trick. At least we... yeah. I knew they had it, but what was I going to do? Yeah, this deck is just better than ours. Pretty handily. We can, you know, do the Professor kill their mat. Alright. I'm going to do the Professor Necrotic Fumes trick again here. 5 mana, kill your thing. But we're now chump blocking a 4/4 to live? No, we can technically block the Witherbloom Apprentice as of now. Any removal spell beats us. Yeah, good game. Just wasn't there for us that game. How did they get the... oh, the multiple choice. Multiple choice is a bonkers card. Alright. So there's our example of how not to win with aggro. Don't get to the board fast enough and then have them have one of the best rares in the set that they get to fully play in multiple choice. On top of some really good uncommons. And they just, yeah, you're gonna run over 2/2s with 4/4s. We maybe could have stabilized if we would have had a couple more turns there, but not necessarily. I just think we were dead that game. It happens. I'm glad that I said I was happy with 5 wins, because it's looking more and more likely that that is the total we're going to stick with. I'm going to keep a 2-drop into a 3-drop, and we'll see how slow our opponent's deck is and decide what our play on turn 3 is. Probably it's just Pilgrim of the Ages. Village Rites is a good pickup here. That does give us the ability to play Eager First Year and then leave up both Study Break and Village Rites. Not sure that's what I want to be doing, but it's playable. It'll play. It'll play. Quandrix. So as we can kind of see, we got into the blue decks once we got to 5 wins, and these are the decks that it's hard to. I guess we can move me down here a little bit, huh? So you can read that better. That looks better, maybe. I'm going to have to... I gave Matt Davis some shit that he needed to come help me, because I feel dumber than a box of rocks trying to work in Stream Elements. Couldn't figure it out. Tried. So we're still pretty plain in our setup. Would like to get it where it looks a little fancier, get us some notifications. You know, when we get those follows and subscriptions, if we ever get to subscriptions. It'd be nice to let people know that we've got support from people out there. I appreciate y'all. Even if you don't follow or anything like that, just being here is great. Really, really appreciate the support. And it's just fun. I think as a Magic player, being able to sit here and try to walk yourself through plays, being able to, you know, rewind and look back at stuff is going to be really nice for me. The cool part for me on the last one that we did with Witherbloom was I watched that draft again, and there's only 1 or 2 card choices in the draft that I wished I had done differently. So that's a low number. That felt good. So they play an Elemental Summoning. Because we hit Expel, I'm just going to pass. We have Study Break and Village Rites we can play here as well. Being able to get that Chonky out of the way seems like it's worth our time. So we're just going to Study Break it now. And then that gives me the ability to go get one of my kill spells. Do I want to sack something, or do I want to annihilate it? I think I'm just going to annihilate it. They're not using their mana really right now anyway, so giving them a card feels bad here, but I'm gonna get over it to get their chunky boy out of my way. We're gonna try to get in for 5. We'll see if they've got like a burying books they want to use here. If they want to bury either of these creatures in books, I will get over it. Draw 2 cards per land into play, yeah. So this is why I'm not as upset about giving them a card. They're sitting at 6 cards in hand still. So 5 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand. That number doesn't seem to matter to me as much as their life total does right now. Yeah, they've got plenty of card draw. They went and got an Environmental Sciences. I think we're playing Combat Professor this next turn. Because I think we can Combat Professor plus leave up Village Rites plus Guiding Voice, which seems fine. It'll depend on what they do. Alright, so they studied the Environmental Sciences. I'm more of a Biological Sciences guy, but they didn't make that card, so we'll study Environmental Sciences. Played a Mountain, still have 5 or 6 billion mana over there, and a full grip. 6 mana and a full grip. What are we doing? We're playing a rare. Okay then. Cool. Cool. Always cool when your opponent plays rares when you're not ready for it. Alright, Combat Professor, get out there. We're still gonna Guiding Voice on it. I don't think we want a Necrotic Fumes right now. I'm going to take an Inkling Summoning. I'm going to try to go wider on my flyers. Try to get some floaty boys. I think that's how we win this game. We float. They have 9 mana, so I don't think manaing them, or out muscling them is going to work. We're going to try to just float over and win the game that way. Still have an Expel in hand as a way to get rid of something. Still have a Village Rites to blank a removal spell. Maelstrom Nexus is a pretty good creature. Fortunately, we can attack through that, I think. Kelpie Guide is really, really good here. We'll probably have to try to expel that if we get the chance. So I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to make a 4/4 Vigilant and get in there. Now we got to look at what we're trying to leave up. So we have 6 mana. If we play Dueling Coach, we can't leave up Expel. I think I want to go here, here, here. Play Inkling Summoning. Leave up Expel. I'm not sure if the Maelstrom Muse or the Kelpie Guide is going to be a bigger problem here. Well, shit. Do I want to... I want to draw 2 cards. They got me. Probably, like I called it, we're going to literally lose 3 in a row. But I don't like giving up a creature for no value there either. Like, I don't think the Maelstrom Muse is that big of a deal attacking here. It probably is. We're probably just dead. Started hot. Definitely have not... Okay, so they have 5 action cards in hand. Yeah, we're super dead. Their deck's good. Their deck's really good. So here's our problem. If we expel the Maelstrom Muse, which I'm actually going to, Kelpie Guide just gets better. Can I play a land still? I cannot. So we'll play Duelist Coach. Make this a 3/2 floaty boy. I mean, we'll pretend that their 5 non-land cards in hand aren't going to murder me, but they're going to. Truth of the matter is... Oh man, do they have like a... Oh, they've got the red, give something reach. No, Burying Books. That is also very good. Burying my token makes me the sads. Oh, well. 5 wins it is. This deck is really good. Show me what you got. Trade it for that? Sure. I don't have any other +1/+1 counter synergies for the most part. Letter of Acceptance? Maybe? Okay, yeah, there's an 8/8. That's, that is the chunky boy that murders my face. If only we had him at 2, we could, make them sign the blood. But that's not how this is going to end. Twitch being able to be a chump blocker that goes and gets us something would be great, but I feel like they'll tap it down. Hey, Mr. Skull! What's up? Appreciate you coming out and, you know, supporting. How you doing? It's been good and bad. We're gonna be able to reduce to memory this giant chunky boy here, which feels better. But they still have 4 cards in hand. Oh, and they have a Quandrix Cultivator. That's not terrifying. Really not that good, but it's just yet another land in play for them. That's what they need. Yeah. Not, I do! It's been a while. I know for all of you that are in the local little Magic community, I went MIA for quite a while there because I started playing in a honky-tonk band. And we've been super busy. So that's the reason that I decided to start doing this, is to just get a little bit of magic in, but you know, also still be able to stay connected with the people in the community. Maybe we just make a spirit here. I think so. Let's give it double lifelink. It doesn't work that way, but we'll give it double lifelink. Your wife's streaming. That's awesome. It's a really cool way to interact with, you know, other players. I'm using it as a way to feel like I maybe can learn. I am definitely a mediocre player. I will be the first one to say it, and I'll happily say that I'm, you know, just not a professional player by any means. We're just gonna chump block for days and die. Arena and Stardew? Alright. Yeah, that's something that if this gets going, I don't know what else I would play though, honestly, so we'll probably just stick to Arena. If I ever figure out how to hook up an N64 to my gaming setup, I would love to play like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as just for, you know, hilarity, maybe some old Fire Emblem. I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. But that'd be if people were interested, or if I decide, I may just stream if I decide to replay one of those games anyway. Oh sure, draw 4 cards. Can you just deck yourself here, opponent? That would be cool. You get too greedy. I'll call it a win for you. I'll concede. If they manage to draw so many cards that they're going to deck themselves, I will concede out of respect for them knowing that the person that draws the most cards is who wins, whether or not the life totals say that. Yeah, I think we're taking 6 here. Not ideal. Pretty sure there's no way out from this standpoint. They have 6 cards, we have 0. Even if I draw a learn card, what am I doing? I think I've already used reduce and introduction, so we're getting necrotic fumes to like kill a card that they get to learn with. Oh good, they have an Efreet Flame Painter too. I was worried they didn't have enough rares in their deck. Sweet baby Jesus, their draft was better than mine. I don't have a single rare in the deck, and we still got 5 wins. That part feels really good. Swamp. Swamp was the answer. That's what we were looking for. Boom. Did we win? No? Okay. I'm gonna mercy kill myself here because they have 4 cards in hand. They get to tap down both my creatures and just kill me. So I can see the writing on the wall. Well, 5-0 to 5-3 feels pretty bad. 5-3 versus a 4-3 in our last draft feels better. I'm going to go with the 1-win improvement and pretend that we didn't lose 3 in a row to end it. Also loving that the deck box had the Mortality Spear that we started the draft off with and didn't play. Let's see if we can open anything cool. The nice part is here is we get a Mythic Wild card. We get a Tendrils. Everybody loves a Tendrils. We've got a Crackle with Power. That is a card I have train wrecked an entire draft off of because I so badly wanted to, you know, make a bunch of mana and murder somebody, and then green and blue both weren't open, but I didn't care. You should care. Don't do that. If you learn nothing else on this channel, it'll be how not to draft. Necroblossom Snarl, a card I'm not currently looking forward to playing. Not really sure about Standard right now, so that's why I'm not really thinking that card matters to me. Devastating Mastery is a card where it's a more white-intensive planar cleansing that you can play for a bad Wrath of God planar cleansing. Oh my, do we have our first spam bot? Sweet. I feel like I have a real stream now. We have our first spam bot. Oh, we got a Stone Rain. Hell yeah. We'll rain stones on somebody. That's a deck I'm leaning towards building for historic memes. So we'll probably wind this down now because it's 8:10. I'll go see if my wife is actually awake still, and hang out with her a little bit before we both go to bed. But my Tuesdays are going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays are my scheduled streams right now, and I'm leaning towards making Tuesdays our Jank Historic Day. So right now what I've been messing with is 5-color shrines. And this deck is actually hilarious to play with. We're at 7 rare wildcards, so we can probably go ahead and grab some more in Search of Greatness. It's been pretty good. The thing I'm having trouble figuring out is where the balance of non-shrine cards goes. And where the balance of, like, Haunting of Cleansing Fire. Is this Haunting of Night's Reach that's in the sideboard supposed to be in the main board if we're only playing best of one? That's where I'm trying to figure it out. Also, the mana base that I have built for this, it's just, I ripped the list off of somebody and put whatever I had and then replaced a few cards. I feel like it's too green intensive, but it needs to be able to play In Search. So I think their mana base was based off of playing 4 In Search of Greatness, and we probably need to just do that. Binding the Old Gods has been great because Binding plus In Search of Greatness lets you put a Sanctum of All into play, which is pretty awesome. Sanctum of Tranquil Light is pretty poor most of the time, but you can put it into play for free off of an In Search of Greatness because its converted mana cost is 1 more than nothing. That's pretty cool. That can be useful. The ones that have been hilariously amazing are Stone Fangs, because it just keeps you alive. Infinite Rage, when you get enough on the board, is just killing everything. And then Calm Waters has been amazing. So that, and then like if you get a Fruitful Harvest plus a Calm Waters, you're just drawing cards, making mana, putting more shrines in play. Really good aggressive draws from like the Boros decks and the Elves decks have beat us. That's why we have Extinction Event. It's almost not good enough, but the 3 mana removal for board wipes, they're either double black or double red or red white. So our mana base doesn't support them. So I've been sticking with Extinction Event. When it's good, it's amazing. It's gotten rid of some Vorinclex and, things that you don't think about needing a board wipe for, that it also gets rid of a bunch of, what are those? The 1-drop red dude from Dominaria that's a 1/2 that becomes a 2/2. I'm blanking. But like Soulscar Mage and all those, the new white 1-drop that has Magecraft that it gets +2/+2. If you can wipe a board of 1-drops with an Extinction Event and stay alive, it feels really good. And like Haunted of Infinite Rage has been good against red, where they're playing like Viashino Pyromancers. So those X1s are hilarious to blow out with a Haunted of Infinite Rage. So I think that's my plan tomorrow night. If people are interested, we'll do some Jank Historic. I need to get a better social media presence for this streaming so that people know what they can do. Hey, Sugar Fairy. Yeah, I used to play at card shops, so the combination of me stopping playing a lot in 2019 and then COVID has made it where there's probably a lot of people that have not seen me in 2 years. But appreciate you stopping by. We're sadly closing down for the night, but I was just saying we're looking at playing Jank Historic decks tomorrow night at 6 p.m. if you're interested. Thank you everybody for watching. Really, really appreciate the support. And I look forward to seeing you hang out tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody.